Get ready for an unfair advantage over your competition. This is the Sales Edge podcast, where globally recognized sales expert and trainer Joe Pici helps you sharpen your skills for booking more appointments and closing more deals. And now, here's your host, Joe Pici.
Welcome back. This is Joe Pici of The Sales Edge, and this is podcast number 43. And here at The Sales Edge, we're focusing on next level thinking, next level execution, helping you gain an unfair advantage over your competition, get to whatever level of what you're doing is. And we're excited as we continue to grow. More and more people are coming on the podcast, and we certainly thank you for that. It's only through your loyalty and sharing this podcast that we can grow. Now, we want you to know that I am accessible to you. Should you have any questions about our podcast or want some topics discussed, send me an email at joe@piciandpici.com, or just pick up the phone and we'll have a cup of Joe. In fact, I just got back from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, working with a magnificent company and team up there on the outbound sales process, booking appointments, just a great company. And the first day I was there, they said, well, Joe, let's go get a cup of Joe. And I thought they were being cute. I thought, well, that's good. I almost named this podcast A Cup of Joe. And we come walking around the corner there in Portsmouth, and there's a coffee shop called A Cup of Joe. And I'll tell you what, it was fun. We took a picture, probably going to post it on LinkedIn. But I guess that's what today is all about, just a cup of Joe. And so here at the Sales Edge, we're going to bring you content. And today, we're going to get right to it. We're going to be talking about pursuing the success mindset. You know, success is a lot of things to a lot of people. If you were to ask people what success is, they'd probably have a different definition than yours. And so I've really looked into different aspects of success, and in no way, shape, or form have we cornered the market on what success is. We're going to give you some suggestions on what we believe success is, and maybe some keys on what you can do to achieve success. So it's many things to many people. Earl Nightingale. Wow, when's the last time you heard that name? One of the giants of mindset thinking. Earl Nightingale said that success is a progressive realization of a worthwhile goal. Wow. Isn't that incredible? Let me say it again from Earl. Success is a progressive realization of a worthwhile goal. Another definition of success is finding and pursuing your purpose. Well, that's powerful. Here's another one. The achievement of something you desire, you've planned, or you've attempted. Now, let me give you a Joeism. Okay, here's one of the things that Joe believes success is. Success is in the becoming while pursuing. The win is not only in the achievement, but the becoming, who we become in the journey. I will say this. What do you mean by that, Joe? So many times we look at success in the accomplishment alone. And what I've really seen in life and experienced in our own lives and experienced while coaching people and working with people, it's a phenomenal thing that happens along the road towards pursuing your success. If you really go after it, as Les would say, with all of your tenacity, you start growing as a person. You become. You see, if you don't become along the way, then when you reach success, you won't hold it. Let me say that again. Part of the whole evolution and process of winning and achieving is being able to hold on to it when you get it. And so the tougher the ride, it starts to develop you. And folks, I'll guarantee you're going to start to really enjoy who you become along the way. This is really what success is. So it's not only the achievement, it's who am I becoming while I'm going through the struggles, the challenges. Who am I learning who I really am when the chips are down? Now, here's another definition. Success is truly finding your purpose. There's so many books and so many speakers and so much focus put on the word purpose, and it is, I believe, one of the most important things you can do. Because I truly believe if a person doesn't find their purpose, they will never reach their true potential or true success. Let me say that again. If a person doesn't find their purpose, they will never reach their true potential or true success, because your purpose has to be tied into success. Also, so many people find their purpose, now listen, and choose not to pursue it. Hopefully that's not you. Hopefully that's not me. So many people will find a purpose, find their calling, find what they were born to be, and choose not to pursue it, and for many reasons. I believe those people live a life of regret. You know, when I coached football, before every game, whether it was high school or college, I would stand before my players. I also always had a scouting report, or what we called an alert sheet. And on the top of the alert sheet, and when I would speak to them, I would say, "Men, have you played your best game yet? If not, what are you waiting for? No excuses, no apologies, no regrets." You see, I just don't want to get to the end. I don't want to have to look back and say, I wish I would have, I should have, and I didn't. In each and every one of us, there's a purpose for you. Each of every one of us, there's a seed, something you have been given that you want. Are you chasing it? We just finished talking about the power of the dream. And the power of the dream is part and parcel to the power of the purpose. Let's talk about Henry David Thoreau. Most men live lives of quiet desperation and go to the grave with the song still left in them. Are you leaving anything on the table? Is there something you've always wanted to do, but you're not doing it? Have you always wanted to achieve that next thing? I sit across the table from many people, and, I of course, a big part of our training is tactical skill-based sales training. We've got a 3-day sales boot camp coming up at the end of October. We only have a couple seats left if you're looking to be able to pick up the phone, generate quality leads, get appointments, close business. But I also sit across the table from so many people that they believe their purpose in life was to speak or train or coach professionally. And I look them in the eye and I said, what's keeping you from pursuing your purpose? And it's the same thing if you go back 2 episodes or 1 episode and look at the obstacles that get in the way of your dream. It's the same obstacles. It's the fear of failure. It's the fear of success. It's what other people think. Pursuing your future is so exciting. Waiting on your future can be miserable. A good friend of mine used to say, put off putting off. So now let me tell you one of the key elements in mindset. One of the key elements in how do you think for success. If you plant corn, you get corn. That's, Joe, what? If you plant wheat, you get wheat. If you plant tomatoes, you get tomatoes. We've spoken about the need for personal growth. We must know a principle in personal growth. Our thoughts are the seeds we harvest. Say it again. Our thoughts are the seeds we harvest. Whatever the thoughts are that are going into your head, whatever they are, that's what we'll harvest. Our thoughts dictate the level of success we can reach. So whatever you're putting in your head is going to dictate your potential success factor. Here's a basic success principle. If we want a successful quality of life, we must have high quality of thought. To better our life, we must improve the quality of our thinking. You know, the way we think determines everything. And so nothing in life can keep us down except our own thinking. When I talk to people, when I see the light come on in their eyes, when they choose not to pursue their purpose, their passion, it's all in their head. Oh gosh, months and months ago, I did a little something on fear, F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. I read a book many years ago, Peak Performances for High Achievers. Try to find that book. It's an old book, a good book. And it talks about 85% of what we're afraid of is really unfounded. Okay? 10% we can't do anything about, and only 5% are real fears that we can do something about them. Here is a Joeism, and no, I didn't invent this, but you're not going to like it. I certainly didn't like it when the man from the stage said this. Because when the man said this, and I was sitting in that audience, I was not pursuing my purpose, my passion, my dream. And he said this: we are where we are in life because of the way we think. If we're not happy with the life we have, choose the way we think. So we really have to get right down and say to ourselves, are we pursuing what we want to pursue? Now, a fulfilled, successful life can be attained with a higher level of thought. It's no one's fault but our own. You see, when I was sitting in that audience and I was thinking about, all of what wasn't getting done, there was nobody to blame. I had to look at the man in the mirror. Albert Einstein wrote, problems cannot be solved at the same level of awareness that created them. In other words, wherever we are in life is based on what we're thinking. And if we're going to change the situation, according to Einstein, we got to change the way we think. We all have areas in our life we want to improve, which means all of us can improve our thinking. Jim Rohn, famous speaker, sincerity is not the truth. Just because you're sincere, just because you really believe it, that doesn't mean it's truth. So the truth is, a good friend of mine, gosh, he's a college professor, used to live in Valdosta. Now he's up somewhere, private school in Illinois. But he's always said, we judge the seed by the harvest. So if you look at your harvest, if you don't like your harvest, the seed was your thought. Maybe it was your thought. Andy Andrews, New York Times bestseller about 4 or 5 times. One of my favorite authors. Andy says our decisions and our choices deliver our actions. So if your decisions and your choices create your actions, which they do, what determines your choices and your decisions? And I believe beyond a shadow of a doubt, the way you think drives your choices and decisions. Okay? The way you think drives your choices and decisions. So your life's results, when you look at your life results up to this point of our lives, they're a test of our thoughts. success is not reserved for super smart. We've got to be really careful what we allow in our head. You know, we allow so much trash in our head. We really do. I flew back from Boston on a very, very late flight. We were supposed to go out at 8. It didn't go out to 10 o'clock. And so, you know, they put down the shades and they turned on all the little televisions. And I was sitting at the exit row. I didn't have a little television. And quite frankly, I was just too tired to read. I had put in, I was on my 18th hour just when I got on the plane. My day was about a 22-hour day. And so I sat back, I put my head back, and I started to think through things. Actually, I was thinking through this very podcast. This podcast hadn't been born yet. And I was thinking through it, and I could see a lot of the I was sitting in Comfort Plus, which is just behind first class, but not in the main. So all of the first class TV screens are big, and I was just looking up, and I was watching what people were watching. Now, there are no kids. There were no kids in first class. These were all grown-ups, different ages. I was shocked at what was on their screens. I mean, it was Marvel, Superman stuff, and it was just stuff. It was just stuff. And then there was a guy doing solitaire, and there was another guy doing whatever. And I was thinking, my goodness, what we allow in our head is unbelievable. You know, and so real quick, I'm going to give you a few things that you can work on this week. Few things to improve on, few things to be aware of. I've talked about these in the past. I'm going to get into them in depth and make suggestions. But I think the first thing we have to be aware of, the number one thing, and I finished up the last podcast with, is the people we associate with. You see, I want you to understand that there's peer pressure at every level. Good peer pressure, bad peer pressure. And I don't care, you know, I'm not a young kid anymore, but do you realize that there's much peer pressure at my age than there was at 18? So who we surround ourselves with, all right? That's a very important thing. The second thing is what about the books we read? Do you have a standard set of books you're reading? I always read books on my industry. I read books on motivation. Read books on mindset. What we listen to. I've become a real podcast guy. I'm really careful who I listen to. Very careful. But I'm listening to stuff all the time. And a big one is what we watch. What we allow in our head. So these are some of the things on helping you with mindset. We're going to get into depth on these, but I wanted to give you some keys on your success journey. Please feel free to send in any questions you have. I want you to take out your phone. I want you to type in 55678, and in the tag, the message, I want you to put Sales Edge. Please make sure it's one word. Now, when you text that, it's going to go to a link, which is going to go to a landing page. You'll see Dawn and my picture up there, and you can scroll down, get some free ebooks, really good stuff, one on LinkedIn, one on sales, and then you can scroll down more. You can send this out to your buddies. It's links to our podcast. Now, if you like this podcast, would you like it? Would you share it? And would you write a comment? We certainly would appreciate that. But we want to continue to be a value add to you on your success journey, on finding your purpose. So thanks a lot. This has been podcast number 43, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening. New episodes will air each Tuesday and Thursday, so make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and give us a 5-star review. The Sales Edge is sponsored by Peachy & Peachy Incorporated, a firm which provides training, consulting, and keynote presentations, empowering corporations and individuals to attract and retain quality clients for higher revenues and growth. Make more money in sales. Speak with Joe in person by calling 407-947-2590 or visit www.peachyandpeachy.com. spelled PICIAND, PICI.com.